Fired. The chair recognizes the gentleman from California, Mr. LaMalfa, for 5 minutes.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Appreciate the hearing today on this important topic, and it's cracking me up once again, the idea that Donald Trump, after 50-plus years of layers of first the legislation that put some of these in place, and then many lawsuits on top of that, different interpretations, and a bureaucracy that has only grown in slowness and in size. Somehow that is blamed currently on President Trump. I mean, Mr. Chairman, I really enjoy that graphic you got there, that poster there, which, you know, the flow chart for making a natural gas pipeline project. And it's hard to read the font on the 8x14 here. And it's hard to read the font there. And it's actually, that'd be kind of hard to dunk over that thing. It's so tall. It's given the amount of steps you would have to take. So appreciate that illustration. And as noted earlier by one of our colleagues, is that they're celebrating now that it's down to 150 pages over a period of time. Well, that took probably one of those earth-ending bills and pieces of legislation that might have come from this committee to shorten that stack of pages of timeline in order to get these done. So indeed, the NEPA process, although well-intentioned 50-plus years ago, is now a giant roadblock and way of getting important things done. My colleague from California talked about forest management a little bit there, and you know, to do a simple thing like maintaining one of the forest roads, to replace a culvert, to do just minimal amounts of work, you got to get a NEPA, got to do the environmental before you can do simple things that help keep our forests in a place where we can manage them. So. And then we have the remedy being like, well, we just need more money and more staff and more personnel that are really good experts on this. So we had the laughably named Inflation Reduction Act a couple years ago, which is tagged at anywhere between $1 and $2 trillion, depending how it plays out over the years. Money had to come from thin air. And so some of that money supposedly was getting to helping with staff up the bureaucracies so they would get through these timelines, get through these permits quicker. So we had a hearing with Forest Service a couple years ago on that, and they said, oh, we've had more money right now available than we ever had before. Yet, in the same sense, they said, we need $30 million more in order to approve a project that would require some, or that would make some important thinning and forest management available over in another state. So one thing after another, it isn't going to be adding bureaucrats to the equation. It's going to be getting them focused on a narrow timeline of what NEPA really should be, and not every case really needs NEPA. We need more categorical exclusions and things to get things done, certainly to help save our forests and the ravages of fire year after year. So, Mr. Herget, let me ask you a little bit about that. So with the categorical exclusions in forested areas around the power lines, making fuel breaks so we can save our towns instead of burning down, like I've had 3 of my towns burned down, around critical infrastructure, what do you see as we can do to advance that cause, to have categorical exclusions be not these scary things that are trying to bypass NEPA, but actually useful towards getting projects done?
I think one of the more important things, and it's simple, and it's something this committee could tackle easily, because at the end of the day, I'm trying to fix a problem, not prove a point, is we don't have transparency. If you walk in the Department of Interior right now, it doesn't matter if it was Secretary Haaland or if it was Secretary Burgum, and you ask how many EISs, how many categorical exclusions, how many environmental assessments, FONSIs, all the relevant aspects of NEPA, it would take weeks to get back because it's not centrally tracked. It's nearly impossible to figure out where it is in the system. Categorical exclusions, even on the forest side, that used to take anywhere between 3 months to 6 months, are taking 2 years and overbuild. And you better hope they don't have an interagency dependency with another, with the Fish and Wildlife Service or with the Bureau of Reclamation, because at that point, your categorical exclusion ends up becoming a built-out EA dressed up as reform.
2 or 3 fire seasons can go by in that kind of review time.
Oh, exactly.
We had a project suffer in Butte County, my home county, where they had the dollars lined up to do some work, and then waiting so long for the permits, the place burned down instead. Let's talk a little about, we hear a lot of pie in the sky about electrifying so many more things on our grid, you know, our automobiles, trucks, appliances, yard devices, yet important minerals like copper. It takes, in one case, 29 years to get a copper mine permitted, typically more like maybe 12 or so. How is that going to help us electrify the whole grid like some wish to do?
It's absolutely not. And the thing about permitting and the permitting decision in particular is we got to remove the obstacles and the headwinds for all sectors, right? Do it for mining, do it for transmission, do it for offshore wind. Just remove obstacles. And at the end of the day, the mining sector runs on such low margins. We are never going to win an asymmetric war with China if we continue to add 20 to 30% just on the permitting cost. Every dollar that goes towards a mine development, right out the door, with no environmental gain to cultural, historic resources.
Yeah, thank you. I misspoke on the grid. The grid will be overloaded by electrifying everything that is required to be on the grid. So, Mr. Chairman, thank you. I yield back.